These are the books that my kids have read during their first grade year and the progression in which they read them. But that doesn't mean that your kids will be ready for these books, or maybe they're already past these books. This is not a comparison game, and I want to make that really clear from the start. If your kids are starting at a different point, reading at different levels in their first grade year, then that's fine. It doesn't matter. All kids learn at different levels. But I just wanted to take some time to show you some of our favorites from that first grade area, 7 years old about, so that you know what to be looking for. If you're interested in knowing how I teach my kids to read, let me know in the comments and I'll have to do a different video on that. But one of the things that we do use is All About Spelling, along with the All About Reading readers. I don't use the All About Reading curriculum, but I have found that these readers are super helpful. I love the way that it presents the new words right along with our spelling and the rules that we are learning. Now, I have the older version that is black and white, but the stories are still fun. The illustrations are rich. We're not just doing stick figures. They actually feel like they are reading a book that is worthy of their time. So I really enjoyed these and going through them. This is typically where we start in about first grade, although we were already working on them in kindergarten as well. All of my boys have really enjoyed the Piggy and Gerald books, and we actually have these volumes because they are cheaper to buy like 5 books in one than to buy them individually. And here the kids are learning how to say these sentences with their inflection, right? Like really excited or maybe a little scared and you're timid, and they have just really loved even picking like, I'm gonna read Piggy and I'm gonna read Gerald, and it's just such an exciting way for the kids to read. We have really enjoyed these. For the preschool to first grade levels, these Acorn books are recommended. You can find the Little Acorn right up here in the top. And these are just really fun, cute little stories with different chapters in them. And then in the back, just like, okay, if I was to do a pick this, not that style of book, pick this, not that. At the end of them, it still shows you how to draw the characters that you were reading about. And my kids always enjoy that and have a lot of fun with it. Let me find another one here to show you. My first reading library by Usborne has been really helpful. We are able to work through these. It says on them the different levels, the numbers of progression to go through these books. And what is really valuable about these is that the parent reads this part here and the child reads the speech bubbles. And then as your kids are getting older or more equipped to read more, they can go back through them and read the entire stories to themselves. I think what a lot of moms really value about these Usborne books is that in the end, it has comprehension pages and questions. So the kids are asked to complete the puzzle. What order did the story happen in? Which is the correct phase that goes along with this image? Let's play the rhyming game. Which words rhyme? So this is a really good way to make sure that your kid understood what they were reading and to give them some little activities to do at the end of their story. Of course, you can always go with the classics too, like Little Bear or Frog and Toad. These are just really cute, fun stories to encourage your kids in their reading to continue going, and the illustrations are beautiful. While many of these books I keep clumped together in their series, I also have a level 1 bucket that is kept up in the kids' reading nook area. And so if they want to read something different on that day, I can say, well, go grab one out of their level 1 reading bucket. And these are them. These are like the I can read early level readers. And we have a variety of those that I just pick up at thrift stores, garage sales, am given to by friends. But I also like that this limits my space. This is what I have space for level 1 readers, and if I find that I'm getting too many in there, I just narrow them down because we really don't need more than this, along with all the other ones that I have too. Also, don't forget about Dr. Seuss. These books are really fun, and yes, they might have a lot of the words memorized from all of these actually, but it's okay that they have some of them memorized and know what to expect, because then they don't have to feel so much pressure as they're going through that they don't know any of the words. They can kind of guess, they get a little bit of relief in some areas, and then are challenged on other words. I also like to encourage my older kids to read to the younger ones. So it's okay that they're reading board books or picture books. As long as they are reading and practicing, especially reading out loud, it's so good for them. I have a couple of more unique suggestions, but I also want to encourage you to be giving your kids a Bible to read at their stage. Now, I know a lot of parents like the beginner's Bible, and we do use this one. My first graders are not into this one yet. They are still on the early reader's Bible, and this is the one that I really like to start them off with, because at the end of each chapter, there are different questions and things for them to be talking about and reflecting on what they read. This is just what I've found to be a really good one. I always have my kids going through a Bible, and so this is just the first one that we start with. Remember to check out your Goodwill or thrift stores. I feel like these are on sale all the time there. You can just grab them for a quarter. Always be checking out the swap shops on like a Facebook group, because you can get a lot of maybe curriculum readers from other curriculums like Abeka, but you don't have to buy the full reading set. You can just get one. So like this one with the Aesop's Fables, I appreciate that my kids can be reading those. And of course they have parts at the end too, where they are reflecting on answering questions about something in the story. And these also come with a Bible verse that goes along with that fable. So I really like that. Narwhal and Jelly are also a good this one, not that kind of book to go with. I love the illustrations in here. My kids think these are so silly. It's about a narwhal and a jellyfish who go on all kinds of silly imaginary adventures. They're so much fun. We've read these so many times. We picked them up from our library too. So remember, go the cheaper route, pick them up from your library, save some money, whatever you can get there, and then spend your money on some of the more quality books that you can't get from the library to have in your own home library. For example, I invested in The Life of Fred early readers. These are not popular. I don't know that I've actually seen another homeschool mom on YouTube even talk about them, but I really like them. When they start off, it's super simple, really basic. Hi, this is Fred. He is 4. And all the pages just have a couple of words, just a few select words on them. These are really silly. They don't make a whole lot of sense as an adult, but kids love them. By the time you are into like book 3 or 4, you're getting chapters in there. And then by the time you reach the last one, book 18, you have a lot more reading going on. And math. And math, they're already starting to integrate the math into these, because Life of Fred is a math series that we go off of, and in those ones, Fred is 5 years old. You'll have to check out one of my math videos to learn more about that. But these readers, here's what I love, is we start with book 1, and by the time we get to the end of them, my kids are ready to move on to chapter books. I have seen their reading just explode going through these Life of Fred books. I can't actually explain how it happens, but it just seems like it builds the kids' confidence, because they start at a really simple level and then they're just reading more and more and more, and it's so silly and they want to keep going. And by the time they're done, their confidence has been built that they can move on to these branches books. So I showed you some of the Acorn books. Right here in the top corner, you see the Acorn, but then here at the next level, you're moving on to the branches books. These are geared towards 1st to 3rd grade. And so right now, one of my boys is reading Dragon Masters. And then one that my older son really loved was the Last Firehawk series. And he went through all of these. Such a great, fun adventure for kids. But look inside here and you can see that there are still really big illustrations going on. Lots for the kids to look at. Little chunks of paragraphs and reading at still that early reading level. So this is what my sons are going to finish out their 1st grade year reading, and then through the summer, I'm hoping to get them through some more series. Maybe my son that's on this one, if he doesn't like book 1, or he finishes book 1 and decides he doesn't want to continue on, that's okay. He can try The Last Firehawk, and they have a whole bunch of other ones too. Also, what I would recommend is sitting beside your child while you're reading these. You read one page, let him read the other page, and it'll just like keep encouraging them to read more, and hopefully they'll find a series that they like and they'll continue to want to do more in that series. But it's okay if they want to move on to another series also. Tell me what books you are using in your homeschool or looking forward to using for your first grade year down in the description box. If you want to see other first grade curriculums that we use, make sure to click on this video here after you subscribed.